Hi everybody, it's Jess, your go-to YouTube dance commentator, and we are here taking a look at ENHYPEN and their unit of Jay, Jake, and Sunghoon, Lucifer. We have the lyric video to look at as well as the Walk the Line live cam. Looking forward to it. We did just look at Teeth, and I shared my thoughts there. It still doesn't take away from the fun of the track, and I did learn very recently after I posted that Teeth really showed signs that they just get overworked, and that's been a common theme with ENHYPEN is they get overworked. They're never on breaks ever, and that could be a really big contributing factor to the fatigue or just how they were able to perform at that time, which is very, very reasonable of a reason. So going into this, I am going to look at it more so with that kind of lens. I do believe there's not a ton of dancing in this one, but I am still very much looking forward to it. It's also a Patreon request. Shout out to Hannah Jade for the request. As always, I'm ready to dive in. I hope you are. Let's go. What a fun start.
어둠 속 들리던 your voice I love it, I love it 편안히 날 감싼 lullaby I love it, I love it like 어떤 존재인지 you don't care 서로 소중하다는 게 중요해 우리 작은 온길 내 세상을 환히 밝혀주는 한 줄 기배 No I can't live without you 그럼 나의 널 빼앗아갔어 Oh my, they will never get it Oh my, they will never make it No lie 난 이라 점점 lose control 홀로 남겨진 날 타오르는 Lucifer but 너의 volcano 집어삼켜 널 빼앗긴 난 끔찍한 괴물이 되어가 더 이상 밟아 갚아주겠어 I don't feel the pain, no I only feel the cold I'm a Lucifer I will never step aside 널 모두 씹고 뱉었으니까 Wrong or right 관심도 없어 내겐 안 중요해 yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh 찬란한 내 소원 그저 평범할 수 있게 내겐 선택권이 없었나
I like that.
더 붉게 물든 눈물 그런 나의 널 뺏어갔어 Oh my, they will never get it Oh my, they will never make it No lie 악마가 된 날 No one can control 홀로 남겨진 날 타오르는 Lucifer but 너의 불길로
That part is a very familiar sound. 선명한 파이어 날려버린 이성 너머는 gunshot Do what I gotta do to be together 태워준 부엌김 없이 Oh, that's cool. With the percussion built in like that.
세상이 죄가 되어가 Just let it burn 그대로 모든 것을 불태웠지만 널 찾을 수는 없어
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that one definitely has some, what's the word? There's nuances of it where we have heard before in the realm of the K-pop boy group, smexy sound, right? Okay. Here is the stage cam.
I love it, I love it. And any night comes a lullaby. I love it, I love it like.
I love the smoke coming in. Oh, we getting up now. And we walking. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, it rotates too. Oh, come on, dancers. Nice, with the ripple. That's a really cool movement direction they just did. Thank you for that. Yes. Yeah, knowing what I know now with, just how overworked they are in general, I think this is a fantastic structure to where, like, the less is more really helps redo the concept, and I think the song was justified far more by the staging choices. Like, we let the lights do the thing, we let the platform do the thing, and let the dancers do the thing, and then they join in near the tail end. We all know what they're capable of. That's what everybody who's there, I'm sure, has that, on their radar. But it's really nice, though, that we get to see them dance a little bit, but it's not the whole time. I don't think you need to dance the whole time for this. So we're actually going to go skip all of that. I love the spotlights, and then they end up walking down the stairs. Then they get up on the platform. Was very surprised that it actually lifted. I don't know if they've used that at this point, but it's the first time I'm seeing it here. It's cool. So the dancers come on. Notice how staggered they are, very weighty and rigid, which is nice. I think it is a little bit, not awkward, but we have a bigger bigger space, bigger gap right here compared to the spaces that we have thus far. So if you just scoot it over a little bit, it could be, I think, a little bit more spaced out. But that's such a minor detail. I don't really think it's that deep. So we melt it down to the ground. That's fun. I like the sways going in. We cross and cross, arms reach up. We drop it down with a reverb is cool. We cross. Different directions with these reaches, these yearning choices. We're dynamically adjusting our choices, which makes it feel way different, right? We can know coming up. We do these reaches, which is also nice. We reverb it, drop it down, and we're running. That's nice. So we end up doing these subtle sways, which I find to be cool. And then they end up descending down. Now, I think the only thing I had like a little beef with was the fact that he went to the outside versus this group opening up. He walks through and then they absorb him. I think would have been really cool and would have helped on the mirroring of this. It just, I don't know. It's just not quite balanced. And I wish there was a more creative way to involve Jake from State Farm into his column. Right. But that's just being a little... You know, I'm going to pick my battles on that. It's interesting that they're wearing outfits that give the impression of being a priest, and they're talking about Lucifer. I mean, it's on brand. I don't equate myself to Lucifer because I'm saved by the blood of Jesus, but I know, like, I get the concept style. It's a vibe. Okay, so he comes out. What I really like about this is we end up doing different switch-offs between the columns, which is cool. He opens up. So you would assume that he's about to go into this column over here, which he does. Then he opens. Then he ends up moving. I thought he was going to go over to his side, but he doesn't. We open back up again. Like, it was at this point where I thought was very interesting. I wasn't expecting now 2 of them are in this line. He comes in, and then I see him go to the front. And then it opens up to where all 3 of them are now in the column. I thought that was really nice. That was fantastic. I do wish, like I said, having that center column open up to allow for a really nice choice with all 3 of our members. And then we closed in like we're suffocating them a bit. And say la vie, that's life. And they end up moving away. One of my guys, bless him. Yeah, he had his hood well over his head, so that was hard. We take it with the tension there, with the crawl up in the arms. We open it up, and then some of us choose a little porter-around moment where they trick the fingers, so I thought that was really cool and fun. Then we end up opening it up, nice and rigid. We end up crossing it. We bring it in. Head goes up. I like the tension out of that. The contrast of colors, I think, works really well. It's in the back. I love the color palette of where they came from, in all honesty. It's really cool. So they end up opening it out. So they're not quite that clean, but we're going to chalk it up to what we discussed back with Teeth, the other unit. Absolutely, when you're overworked and you're doing the most all the time, eventually it's going to get fizzled out. And I do think that we're experiencing a fizzled out ENHYPEN, and it's been happening for years. And it really sucks, too, because somebody had made a point. I remember this, and I believe it was regarding ENHYPEN, where they themselves, there's a chance they just think this is normal, because if you're told by everybody that this is what normal is you're working and breaks are you've fallen short and you fail as a person if you're on a break, then you're going to have them think that this is normal, and just working all the time and no rest is, if you rest, you suck, basically. And I could be completely downplaying the degree of what was discussed on it, but it's just really fascinating where you don't realize how a schedule is or your experience is until you're kind of out of it. So I'm curious, whenever they, hopefully, depending on the renewal status and what they do as a group, curious about what's going to shift with that and how their headspace is going to shift. Because when you're in the thick of it, it's kind of impossible to figure that out until you're out of it. So, but man, they've worked a freaking lifetime in the years that they've been active, so I like the tension on that. So they do the same thing our dancer said like they did whenever our trio was up in the on the podium, the rotating podium. They drop it down, we bring it up, and they open it up, to the floor we go. Really cool. And then they're still lingering out of this, which is cool. They end up accenting up, which is really nice. And then they end up sending it down, and then we reset that tension. So they do body rolls with feature moment party of 3. And then they go in. The little Da, 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 da. What's another song in the K-pop space that sounds just like that? I can't put my finger on it. I feel like I'm gonna just pull my hair out if I'm trying to think through who could have a song like that. Please let me know. You guys and I all have heard that before. I like it. Don't fix what ain't broke. If it's a nice, sensual, seductive track, with a little bit of mystery to it, don't fix what ain't broke. You know, it's cool. So out of the two, which one's my favorite? I'm gonna say, it's funny that I'm saying this. I would say Lucifer I preferred more, but it's because of the staging and how they chose to showcase it live in comparison to Teeth. Teeth, you can see a lot of the shortcomings of the schedule really catching up to them. Here, it's a little bit easier to cover, I guess, would be kind of the best way to frame that. But all in all, I'm always rooting for people to be able to have a proper work life balance. It's really, really hard being an idol to do that for so many reasons. I mean, we could literally be here all day to talk about it. But my point, though, is I'm thankful that there are fans out there like Hannah and probably many others who really care about their group, want to celebrate the art of it, but also we're aware of, they are human and we want to respect, the fact that they're going to have some highs and lows, especially in more recent times with the shift in the group to solo activities. But we're here for a good time to experience their growth as a group, and it makes me intrigued on when I'm going to start clocking the fatigue set in, because this is technically out of order in terms of the movement progression from where we left off to where we are now. There's still a little bit to fill in, but the tracks themselves, I believe, were released right around where we left off. So all that to say, looking forward to more as always. Thank you, Hannah, for this request. Thank you guys for watching, and I am Jess. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.